What is up, everybody? Back with another video. Today, I have a new mock draft coming out. I haven't uploaded in a while on here. Sorry about that. But I got some video software ready to go. We're going to start this mock draft right up. Please leave a like on this video. That would be greatly appreciated. And let's dive right into this. Obviously, number one, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. There's nothing I even have to say at this point. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Zach Wilson, number two. I also think this is pretty locked in. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Darnold was just traded a few days ago to the Panthers, and he is by far, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in this draft. They were all over him on his pro day. There's just no reason not to take him. He's really looking like a younger version of Aaron Rodgers, even though Aaron Rodgers was not looking like this coming out. But he's got the same gift. He's got like the same tools as him. So, I mean, I like that comparison a lot. But I just don't see a reason why he won't be taken there. And number three, personally, this is not a pick I would make, but I have to put myself in the shoes of the 49ers, and it's probably gonna be Mac Jones. He fits the Shanahan offense. He fits the typical QB Shanahan has. I'm seeing him in most mock drafts from pros that this will be the pick, which to me, if I'm them, I'm not taking that. But hey, if it's gonna be, what fits Shanahan's offense, then it's gonna be him. Number four, I like this pick a lot. Kyle Pitts. This is a pick I would make. I was kind of going back and forth between a tight end and a QB at this spot, but I was kind of thinking that let's make this Falcons offense a juggernaut. You have to keep Todd Gurley, but you got three phenomenal weapons that Matt Ryan's be passing to. The only problem is I really don't see this team becoming a contender. But hey, Kyle Pitts for the next QB that comes along is going to be a stud, and he will most likely be in his prime around that time period. But I got an easy pick here. I'm going Penei Sewell to the Bengals. I could go Jamari Chase, which is actually Joe Burrow's preferred option, but they don't have a great offensive line, obviously. And I do think they have a guy like T. Higgins. I think he's going to be a potential future wide receiver star. I think their wide receiver staff is a lot better than their offensive line staff. So I feel like if you really want to take a wide receiver in this draft, it's going to have to be later, like in the second round. So I'll go Sewell there. Number six, I think this one's also pretty easy. Jamari Chase. I see no reason why he wouldn't be taken as the number one wide receiver. Devonta Smith has really dropped in rankings because of his weight concerns. Jalen Waddle's kind of hover on the same spot. I'd say he dropped a little bit, though, because of certain teams trading from certain picks. So, like, wide receivers are definitely dropping because of that. Like, the Dolphins were going to stay three, and I think they would have taken a wide receiver there. So that really drops the pay grade of these wide receivers. So it was kind of like a whole ripple effect. Lions, I'm going Justin Fields. I was swapping between Justin Fields and Jalen Waddle, but I really came to the conclusion that Justin Fields, he's going to be just about as good as any other number one quarterback in a lot of classes. I just don't see why you'd pass on him right now. Jared Goff is not your guy by any means, and he won't be. You definitely need weapons around him, which you don't really have, but if Justin Fields is just sitting there. Also, I was debating with Trey Lance also, but I thought Justin Fields, because of his floor, would make more sense because Justin Fields, he's the type of guy who's not going to really need to sit behind someone. Trey Lance is probably going to have to sit behind someone for a little bit, but I do have him going to a team where he's probably not going to be sitting behind someone. Panthers, this is also an interesting pick. I'm going with the offensive lineman, Rashawn Slater. With Kyle Pitts off the board, I'm not going to take a QB here. You trade for Sam Darnold, and you already have Teddy Bridgewater also. You're not going to take another QB. There'd be no point in trading for Sam Darnold if you were actually still considering taking a QB here at number 8. So they're either going to try to make Teddy Bridgewater a franchise QB, or they're going to try out Sam Darnold to see if they can revive his career. We'll see what happens with that. I think they got the good weapons to do it, so I really hope they can. Broncos. This is a phenomenal pick right here for them. I got them taking Trey Lance, quarterback. This makes a lot of sense to me. Drew Lock is probably not your guy. I was actually pretty high on him. until this last season. He didn't really impress me. I didn't see too much improvement, so I'm going Trey Lance there. I think that makes the most sense. Cowboys, I'm going Patrick Surtain the second. I mean, this makes too much sense. They need cornerback help. He's the best cornerback in this draft. Caleb Farley was another guy that could have been projected around this range, but he really fell down because of his back problems, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get over that. But Patrick Surtain is I think you could kind of almost lock this in, as he is going to be a future Cowboy. At number 11, the Giants, I have Jalen Waddle going there. Phenomenal wide receiver. They did sign Kenny Galladay, but no, you don't have, like, Jalen Waddle is going to be a very good second option. You gotta help Daniel Jones as much as you can, and Jalen Waddle is one of those guys who's definitely potential generational talent at the wide receiver spot. Just the tools that he presents, like this dude's average per touchdown. I mean, his yards average per touchdown catch was over 40. That is insane. Or that was either targets. It was either per catch or per target. Like, that's insane. Over 40 yards per touchdown catch. Like, oh my gosh. But after talking a little negatively about Devonta Smith, I got him going 12 with the Eagles. They definitely need wide receiver help still. I mean, you could go cornerback like J.C. Horn, or maybe even take a shot at a linebacker like Micah Parsons at this point, but I really wouldn't. I wouldn't, dive deep down this list for like a guy like Kyle Trask, either a quarterback like Devonta Smith. He makes the most sense to me there, and I think he's the guy they take. Then I'm going back for more offensive line help for Justin Herbert. They ranked dead last in offensive line grade at 32nd in the NFL last year. You did add a all-pro center in Corey Linsley. Like, he's going to help you out tremendously, but you got to add a tackle to that team. He's going to start right away, obviously. He's going to make that team so much better, and he's going to really help out Justin Herbert. I don't know why I just mixed that up. But next, I got the Vikings taking Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle. They still need help there, especially in the passing game. Just this move would really help out their offense fully. I think you could assess the defense a little bit too, but I feel like this is the absolute best pick they can make. At 15, I have the Patriots selecting Rashad Bateman, Minnesota wide receiver. He's fantastic in the slot. This team has no wide receiver talent, in my opinion, at all. They need it really badly. Cam Newton obviously struggled a lot in his first year. He needs a legit weapon. And Julian Edelman, in my opinion, is not a number one option by any means, and he can't be considered one at all. So get Rashad Bateman in there. Obviously, if you have a rookie as your number one option, that's kind of bad unless they're like absolutely breaking out as like an elite player. But this will help their team in the long run for sure. Cardinals, I got them taking Caleb Farley. Some people have him slipping out of the first round. To be honest, I would not go that deep to it. His back is going to be a problem. But if you can hit on this pick, that is an absolute steal, because this guy was projected to be a top 10 pick for a long time. If you can land him at 16, that is just elite as heck. Raiders, I got them taking kind of a shot down the board. I could have gone with more defensive help, but I still think they need offensive line. I got them taking Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State. This is kind of one of those sleeper picks where you'd expect more late first round or early second round. But no, I got him going mid first round to the Raiders. They still need offensive line help for sure. I think this would help them out tremendously and really help out that Derek Carr game. Maybe even Marcus Mariota if he's going to be throwing the ball down there. Next up, we got the Dolphins. The Micah Parsons fall finally ends. He falls in my mock drafts a lot. It's not that I'm low on him. It's just that I can't find too many realistic teams that absolutely need a linebacker. But hey, I think the Dolphins really do. I think this would really help their defense. Not that their defense needs an extreme amount of help anyways, but he's a phenomenal prospect in my opinion. He's going to be amazing at sacking the opposing QB as a linebacker. I'm pretty excited to see what he does in the NFL. He's a big sleeper pick. Next up, we got the Washington football team. I got Terrence Marshall Jr. going there. I like the wide receivers they got right now, but I think you got to add more talent over there. You don't really know who your QB is going to be. You got Henneke, and then you just got Fitzmagic. So it's like, who's going to be your quarterback? But honestly, I would like to stick with Henneke. I really like what I saw from him. Like, he put up 300 yards against Tampa Bay, who won the Super Bowl. Like, I think he could be a legit QB. I'm glad they signed him. And if I was a football team fan, Washington football team, I'd be really happy about that. I got Kadarius Toney going to the Bears. Andre Miller might be getting traded soon from the Bears. I heard they're hearing some, trade offers for him, but I think they just definitely need wide receiver help at this point still. You got Andy Dalton at QB. It's just, I got a lot of opinions on that trade. Maybe if you guys want to see a video on that, I could, but I thought that was a really bad signing. Like, 1 year, $10 million for a guy like Andy Dalton. I don't like it. Colts, I'm taking an offensive tackle, Samuel Cosmi. They got a good O-line, but you got a new guy there. You got Wentz. He's going to need the help. If you give him the help, maybe he can return to his old form. I doubt he ever returns that MVP-like form, but you got to do everything you can to make sure he doesn't play like the Carson Wentz from last year, because he's getting paid a lot of money, and you invested a good amount of trade stock into getting him. So you got to make sure he performs the best he can. That's why you got to take an offensive tackle right here. Titans, we got J.C. Horn. He's been climbing mock drafts big time. I like to see it. I'm a big fan of his. I was really hoping, because I'm a Packers fan, that he would go that late in the draft, but no, there's no way he falls there at this point. Titans need cornerback help, and they're going to get it. Jets, I have them taking Kwity Paye. Finally, the edge tackle gets taken from Michigan. They need defensive help overall. I think there were definitely a lot of options at this pick, but I settled on Kwity Paye. This makes a lot of sense to me. You just took Zach Wilson. I would have liked to take a wide receiver, but there just wasn't many wide receiver options at all that I liked. I think it's best to wait to the second round for that one. At pick 24 of the Steelers, we are going offensive tackle Landon Dickerson offensive center from the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think this is a good pick. He is definitely a bit of a reach also, but this team definitely needs some O-line help. You got Big Ben coming back. He's a sitting bean in the pocket. If you don't give him protection, he's going to get sacked like crazy. So you definitely need that if you want to be successful. I was thinking about Najee Harris, but I don't feel like they take a running back in the first round. In my next mock draft, you definitely could see me taking Najee Harris there, but I just think that's the best pick. Jacksonville Jaguars, the Christian Barmore slide ends. It wasn't really a slide. There's only a few picks below ADP on PFF, actually, but I think it's a little bit of a slide. Another pick where I would have liked to see an offensive talent, but there just, again, wasn't many offensive talented players that I would have liked to take here. That's another point where, you have to wait to the second round to do that, and that's just, the smartest move, in my opinion, you can make. Next up, we got the Browns taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. This is a really good pick, in my opinion. That defense definitely needs help. I'm a big fan of that offense. You got two extremely, really good running backs, in my opinion. Baker Mayfield is up and coming. I don't think he's a top 10 QB in the league. I'd probably put him in that top 15 range. You got two really good wide receivers in OBJ and Juice Landry. This team is built off their offense. You gotta go assess that defense. At 27 for the Ravens, we got Jason Owe. I don't know how to say his last name, unfortunately. I think that's how you say it. Another pick where I wanted to go wide receiver, but I just didn't like Elijah Moore for them specifically. I think he's more of a deeper first-round pick, and it's just another pick where, again, you should just probably wait to the second round. I don't think he fits the offense as much as Lamar Jackson would want, so I'm going to pass on him for now. Saints, I'm going Jalen Phillips, edge from Miami. this team, we'll see what happens in the offseason. Drew Brees unfortunately retired. That was a sad thing to see because I've been watching him my whole NFL. Since I was younger and watched the NFL, I've been watching a lot of him, obviously, even though I'm not a big fan of him, but he's been in the NFL the whole time I've been alive. So that it's just sucks to see a guy like that leave. But I think you got to assess that defense still. And the offense should be fine as long as you have guys like Kamara and Michael Thomas there. So we'll see what happens there. But moving on to the Packers, you got to take the secondary. I'm taking Gregory Newsome the second. You did re-sign Kevin King to a 1-year, $6 million deal. But after that year, there's just no way Kevin King stays unless he has a breakout season, which it's probably not going to happen. I like to be an optimistic Packers fan, but it's probably not going to happen. At number 30, Azeez Ojulari. I think it's another really good edge addition. I have a lot of edge rushers kind of slipping, as you saw in the last 3 or 4 picks. I have edge rushers, and I might have another one coming up in a little bit. You'll see. But I think this makes a lot of sense for the Bills. Phenomenal offense by all means. Just keep adding on to that team overall so you can compete with the Chiefs for the years to come. Walker Little, tackle to the Chiefs. On our pick, you need a tackle. Absolutely sucked in the Super Bowl in that part of the game. I think that killed your whole game. Patrick Mahomes got pressured, I think 48% of the plays, which is absurdly high. It's embarrassing how bad that offensive line played. 32 bucks. We're having Elijah Moore get selected here. He makes sense for the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. But hey, let's get into what these grades show. So we got 2 A+ on the first 2 picks. Let's see what else we got. B+ on the Mac Jones pick. I'm actually kind of surprised it's that high. B+ on Kyle Pitts. Oh, come on. You're going to give me a B+ for Penei Sewell pick? It should be a lot higher than that. Jamari Chase, B+. That should also be higher. A+ for Justin Fields. Wow. I was not expecting that. C- for Sean Slater. I'm kind of interested to see who they would have taken there. A+ for Trey Lance. Love it. D for Patrick Surtain. What? Cornerback is their need. I'm kind of confused by that one. He's the number 1 cornerback. A- for Jalen Waddle. A for Devonta Smith. Ooh, nice. D- for Elijah Vera Tucker. Yikes. Maybe they would have liked Christian Darrisaw more there. We might have to try that next mock. I'll take Christian Darrisaw up there, see if that grade improves. C+ for Bateman. Makes sense. Caleb Farley's an A. Tevin Jenkins, C+. Micah Parsons, A. Terrence Marshall Jr. is a D. I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I think there was different parts that I could have assessed, but I just thought he made a lot of sense there. D+ for Kadarius Toney. Yikes. B+. Let's see if we got any more A's. There we go. Christian Barmore, A. I was not expecting that, to be honest. I was expecting a lower grade because I think they maybe wanted to assess the offense right there. A B for Greg Newsome Jr. I wonder if they would have made an A. I think that makes the most sense, though. And, yeah, I mean, that's basically how it ended up. Now they're showing some overall grades. I'm definitely going to try to do a 2-round mock draft so I can, go off of these overall grades more. Maybe even a 3-rounder. That would take a while, though. We'll see what comes during the draft time. But I am very happy these are both A+. PFF really did a good job with that. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.